Did you know that why are moms so miserable? One of the most searched terms on the internet these days. And if you're a mom or a dad or a parent in any capacity, I'm sure you're nodding along. Just this week, someone said to me the dreaded, oh my gosh, enjoy every moment. You're going to miss these days. I have a 5-year old and a 2-year old right now, and I'm sure if you're a parent, you get asked that stuff all the time. Oh my gosh, are you enjoying each moment? You're going to miss it, which I think is one of the worst things that we can say to a parent. And that right there is why moms are so miserable, is because not only are we supposed to just pretend that everything's so perfect right now, we're also supposed to be expected to enjoy every single minute. I mean, that's a lot. My kids' minutes are filled with screaming, crying, tantruming, and messes most of the time. Another thing that I think happens with that often is that people, usually they're older, they're telling us this stuff because I truly believe that's their own stuff coming out. That is maybe their regret for not spending more time with their kids, or maybe that is them wishing that they would have done things differently and kind of putting it on us, the younger generation who has a chance to do it now. But I also feel like this is our chance now. You had your chance to raise your kids. I'm sorry that you missed these days. Look, I get it. I know I'm going to look back on this. I already do. I look at the baby pictures and I cry and I think of, oh my gosh, the time flies. But also, if I could tell those people who are saying, enjoy every minute, you're going to miss these days, if I could put them in a time machine and transport them back to the nights when you're up all night, when your kids are sick, when you're sick, when you are stressed out, you're trying to manage a household and maybe working and school and everything else that goes into parenthood, yeah, I don't think they would miss those days. And I think it's okay to not live your life in a way where you're expected to enjoy every moment. Look, life has its ups and downs, and so does motherhood. And I don't think it's reasonable to ever expect to enjoy every moment. It's just not possible. I always say in my sessions, unless you are heavily medicated, you're not walking around like, oh my gosh, life is amazing. I just love everything. That's not how it happens. Life is full of good and bad and happy and sad and scary and awful times. And do we enjoy every minute of anything? No. So parenthood shouldn't be any different. Another thing that I would love to challenge is that we are not allowed to complain. I think it is not only okay to complain, but it is necessary. Somehow, it has turned from whenever we vent about something, and look, thank God I have really good friends that I can vent about anything, and they don't view it as me not being appreciative or just complaining. That's not what I'm doing. We need a space to vent, and if it's not with a friend, a family member, or a good therapist, it's going to come out somehow. And I'd rather vent about how tired I am, how stressed I am, how loud it was in the house that day with a friend versus trying to put on a happy face because I'm trying to pretend to enjoy every single moment, and then it explodes in some kind of, you know how it is. It comes out, and then you start yelling and you become a psycho and you're like, oh my gosh, where did this come from? Well, that's because we view venting as not being appreciative, which they are not at all similar. They're completely different things. So I always say, like, go ahead and vent and talk about how hard your day is. And look, if you're a friend or a family member on the opposite side of that, people just want it to be acknowledged and to say, like, yes, I hear you. You look so tired. Life is hard. Motherhood is messy. You look stressed, and it's going to be okay. And people just want you to acknowledge them and not try to necessarily fix it, but just say, like, I hear you, I see you, you're right, this is really tough right now, and not judge them. I had someone judge me because I was talking about being tired a lot, and they were like, well, I know that all you ever talk about is being tired, so maybe you should fix that. That's not what I needed in that moment. I needed someone to be like, yeah, I hear you. You've been up for every night for the past 5 years. Like, motherhood's exhausting. That's all we want. And again, don't confuse the venting with needing, attention or validation or not appreciating life. I appreciate my life fully. I also vent a lot, and it feels really, really good. And then finally, too, I've heard a lot lately about I have to put my kids first. I have to put my husband first. I have to put my job first. And I get it. Trying to put yourself first feels foreign to a lot of people. It's a little bit awkward. So what I will always say is, if you can't put yourself first, at least put yourself equal. At least put yourself and your own needs equal to your kids, equal to your spouse, equal to your employer. That's really important too, because so many times as moms, our needs go unmet. We're the last ones to sleep. We're the last ones to eat. We're the last ones to shower and put on makeup. So taking care of some of that. I know the saying self-care isn't selfish. It's really not. You have to take care of yourself to be in the best position to take care of others. What do you need to parent your best? Think about the days when you have done a really good job parenting and you're like, yeah, I rocked that. I felt good that day. What was different about that day? Were you able to work out, eat breakfast, shower, put on makeup, get some time to yourself, and try to duplicate that as much as possible? That invisible weight of motherhood contributes to a lot of moms being miserable. And I think too, if it's not the physical weight of motherhood and carrying around kids and carrying around heavy laundry baskets, it's that emotional, mental weight of carrying anxiety and worrying about your kids and thinking about what's coming next. So I wouldn't be a good therapist if I didn't say we are here to help with a lot of this stuff. If you are a miserable mom or a dad or a grandparent or any other combination of anything, therapy can be a great way to get these thoughts out of your head in a judgment-free zone. You can talk about how motherhood was the best and the worst thing you've ever done, and how it's so loud you just want to run away sometimes and you would actually consider doing it.